Flea markets offer one of the best variety of sourcing places out there because of the many different vendors you will run into. Variety gives you many opportunities to make a lot of money from people who aren't aware of what some of the values are on the things they are selling. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to do a little bit of sourcing. I'll show you a few things, and we're going to talk a little bit about sourcing in general. Now, I love the booths with shelving, just stuff loaded up all over the place. Those are the ones I usually run to first. Usually you can find good deals when stuff is jammed in because it's harder to see. They don't display it well. Now, these are actual shoe forms. They would have been used to make actual shoes back in the day. They're small children's size. My guess, somebody bought a whole collection of these because there's many of them throughout their booth here. Books all look to be fairly modern. Nothing really worth messing with from what I can see. I even found some other of the shoe forms out there. Again, all children's sizes. I do look in the lock cases because you never know. Many times the lock cases can carry some bigger value items in it, even like the ones on the counter you see up there. But these just seem to be cheaper toys for the most part. Some interesting 80s and 90s stuff throughout here. There's a 70s, early 80s Coke truck. Not a lot, but I do see a model down there. That blue boxed model, it looks like an AMT there. Some of the larger size, larger scale models are worth more than most of the other ones. Some of them are made out of metal too, so I always look at it. Some of the big version, the 1/6 scale model cars like that, if they've been untouched in the box, can go for a couple $100. Now, this is just a box of random paper. It turned out to be really nothing. It was just like a art kit of some kind from the 40s, and it was only parts of it and pieces. So I pretty much just flew on by through that. Shelves, of course. I'm checking the shelves. Here's an original 1960s troll, and it's a Santa troll. Now, this does look to be original. You can see how they are marked. That is the mark you want. This one was well too high priced. I've had a couple of those before. 75 or better bucks is what I'd usually sell them for. I'm not going to pay top dollar for something and not make any money. Now, I love old Crocs of any kind. Now, these are actually decorated with business names, and this one's from West Virginia. The prices were just pretty much top-notch. There are reproductions of these, so you got to be very, very careful. Now, I don't mess with a ton of pottery, but these sorts I do because they're quick movers. They won't be in inventory longer than one run as an auction, so I don't mind buying stuff like that. They don't sit around ever very long. I found some other ones from the same person, lots of the mason jars and things like that. This shelf looked promising, but just looking at the prices, everything was overpriced in there. Top dollar for anything. So, again, it's their booth. They're welcome to do it as they wish. I just can't make any money doing it. Again, I usually look at all the cases. Record-wise, they all looked pretty generic there. I did go back and look at them. Again, I look at pretty much any booth that is just cram-packed specifically. Lots of oddball things. I do like mugs, and there's a mug up here on the left that's well worth looking at. Now, some of the markings here dictate if I'm going to buy it or not. Even by the looks. If it even looks really cool but the marking's bad, it's just not worth messing with in my part. I don't like to hold on to pottery, glass, or anything else like that very long. So if it's not going to sell quick, I just don't mess with it. Now, here's a really good bolo, something to look for every place you go. The Frisbee started as a tin, a pie tin, the plastic Frisbee that everybody throws around. I have found some in here, and as you can see right here, they can sell for a ton of money. So be diligent and look at every single tin in there. Some people do not have a clue that's where they started from. I've run into them where there's just a whole stack of tins, $1 a piece, and found a Frisbee in those sorts of assortments as well. Look at this one over here then.
I was curious, it might be a World War II.
It might be a World War II one, actually.
Nice, a bell and with it. That's weird.
Yeah, let's see how much they got on it. $250. They're crazy.
Yeah.
What are they saying it is?
There's actually a better one at the antique mall near us.
Dated 1945. That's way too much.
There's a hat above it too. Or
It's a expensive hat.
Yeah, that is expensive.
And it is newer, I would say. $60, that's way too much. But people don't know what they're worth, you know. Now here was a decent stereo view card lot, and the biggest problem with most of these is they want to sell them as a lot. There were some individual cards I could have made some money on if they were $1 or $2, but that's about it. I love these things, but they're always high priced. Postcards are something I pick up almost every place I go when I'm outsourcing, at least the places I go. I picked up a nice little stack here. Part of this, the majority of it, was $5, and the rest I think I have 17 total dollars into here. There's a lot of money in a little stack just like this. Easy to store, easy to ship. There's not much to it. It's quick and easy to list as well. Now, I bought some postcards, too, for $5, a big bag of them, and there's a few in there that'll get me some decent money. Things like this, these military uniformed ones here. Now, in something like this, I can get 8 or 10 bucks out of it. Again, I paid $5 for a huge bag of them. Here's an Expo one, again, 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Here's an interesting one for a clock, again, 10, 15, maybe even 20 bucks because of the limerick, the poem in here. Lots of them can do very well. The real photos were in there also, so that's an interesting one. This is one from Gettysburg, Battle of Gettysburg. Something like this, 15, 20 bucks as well. Here's another one, Walden's Ridge. This is another one, should give me 10, 15 bucks. Other things I found in that $5 purchase are these hand watercolored ones here. I usually get bare bones minimum for even foreign ones, 10 to 15 bucks. Just like this one here again. Here's a German one. Same thing. Hand watercolored. All the color on this was actually applied after the card was printed. Mushrooms. I get about 10 bucks on any of these mushroom ones. I've had many of these sort. It also has 4-leaf clover, so it's basically wishing someone good luck. Here's Tahoe. This one here should get me 10 bucks, maybe a little more also. What's this one here? This is Sandusky, Ohio, Port Clinton, Cedar Point area. So I put Cedar Point in the title. I should get another 10, 15 bucks out of that. Now, I got a whole bunch of them. There's other ones out of that same $5 purchase. So, again, I did very well. I can lot these up. With a lot like this as well, I can lot them up. These are all from Shaw's Garden in St. Louis, so it's a specific place. 10, 15 bucks for 5 or 6 of those. There's some fancy ones like this lily here. It's just incredibly well done. I mean, it's really well embossed. It's just like a superb card. Looks like a German make or something like this. Again, 8, 10 bucks. There's a ton of $10 cards in this $5 purchase. So it's stuff like this that makes my day. During this sourcing trip, we actually stayed in a cabin on the side of a hill out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was literally nothing out there at all, which was really nice and enjoyable for us. The closest cabin was about a quarter of a mile away down back where you can see it there. Nothing in sight anywhere else at all. No sounds, no nothing, just birds. That's about all it was, as far as the eye could see. You can see our car way up there at the top of the hill. It was a nice place. We stayed at several of these different cabins here. The walkway outside the cabin took us to the Ridge Walk, which was actually out in the middle of nowhere. To me, this is relaxing. Not a sound or anything else around. Can't hear a car. This is actually what you're listening to right here behind us. That was a nice getaway, a nice vacation. No traffic, no nothing for several different days. We spent Christmas out in the woods as well. Obviously, we did source, as you can see, but it was a very enjoyable time. I wish there was snow, but other than that, it was just a great getaway from reselling. Part of the reason I love being a reseller. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Profits expanded the business, created more jobs, let you move up. Profits give you your security, your chance for future advancement. Yes, sir. Profits have a big job to do. Yes, more jobs and more security for more people in a great and growing industry. So that an ambitious guy like you may have a chance to become store manager someday.
You really think so?
As good a chance as anyone else. Provided you never forget how important you are to the store's success. How important you are to your own success. You, one guy.
It's a one-guy operation. And I'm the guy.
You're the guy. Whatever your job. Well, I have to push off, Arthur. Get another appointment.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You're not going to give this advice to all those other guys down the street, are you?
Remember, Arthur, competition. They're pursuing profit, too. The mark of a free society.